So many of you have asked how to connect your Etsy ornament listings to Inner Circle Prints and Hello Custom. In today's video, I'll be going through this step by step. We're going to start inside of the Etsy ornament listing, where I will show you how I set mine up from description, pricing, personalization, print partners, and shipping all the way to publishing. Then I'll show you exactly how to hook it up to Inner Circle Prints if you're working with just one design or multiple SKUs and variations. And finally, we'll connect everything through Hello Custom so your personalization flows automatically. If you are not utilizing Hello Custom, that is totally fine. I'm going to be going over how you would be setting that up inside of ICP without using Hello Custom as well. All right, let's jump in. First, I want to touch on your organization inside of Canva. I would suggest that you start out being organized so that you don't lose graphics and artwork. And the best way to do that is to utilize folders. So what that will look like is you'll come over here to projects inside of Canva and you'll click on add new folder. I'm going to title it ornaments. I would do this for every product category that you're launching into. So here it is right here. And then if you already have a lot of designs created, you can then select the check mark and you can move them to the ornaments folder. So I'm going to select down here at the bottom, move to ornaments. Now, when you do this, you're going to need unique titles on your Canva designs so that you can find them. It's already going to be super helpful that you have them all inside of one folder, but it will help you even more if you have titles on them that will help you easily identify them. So if that means naming it the micro market name, naming it a specific SKU number, or even using the same title that you're using in the Etsy listing and on ICP, you just need to figure out what's going to work for you and then be uniform with it. Personally, when I'm creating my designs, I will start out by creating them all on one document. So it might have 300 pages on it. But when I'm ready to hook them up to ICP, I'm going to break them out page by page, design by design, Canva document by Canva document, and then put them into the folders so that it's easy for me to find later on. Last year, I just had them all inside of one Canva document, and it became cumbersome looking through all of that to find the ornament that I then wanted to personalize. So I suggest that you do this from the outset so that it's clean, and every ornament that you're hooking up to ICP has a unique Canva document that it's linked to. Even if you're utilizing Hello Custom, this is still the cleanest way, in my opinion, for you to organize. So the first step that you're going to do is you're going to create your ornament listing on Etsy first before you hook it up to ICP or Hello Custom. And once you get this done one time, you can then duplicate it and the description will stay the same. The pricing, you will just change a couple things here and there. Okay, so you're going to add the title. You're going to add your photos. Here, we're going to be doing an ornament that's a couple ornament. And I have two different variations to choose from just so that I can show you what that will look like if your ornament does have variations. This is a small detail, but I suggest that your thumbnail for your ornament is set the way that you want it to be. I suggest a 4,000 by 3,000 document, but is set prior to putting it inside of Etsy so that you don't have to mess with this adjust thumbnail button. I never touch that. It's already set to exactly how I want it to look. Okay, let's go through the description. I use ChatGPT to create a keyword-rich description at the top of my description. And so it has to do with this specific micro market. Of course, this one would be a couple's ornament. And this is very important because Etsy is scanning every part of your listing to see who is your ideal customer. So if you can have a keyword-rich description right here, it's just going to help you get in front of the right eyes. And then I put a little intro. Our ornaments are made from strong ceramic and are printed using a sublimation process that ensures vibrant graphics that will never fade. Each ornament comes with a complimentary gift box and gold string, ready to be gifted or put on your Christmas tree. I go through the love it guarantee. If there are any issues with your ornament, just message us and we will gladly send you a reprint or issue you a full refund. Also, a note on this, as soon as I send something to production, I message that customer and I let them know, hey, if you have any issues with your ornament, please reach out to me. Your satisfaction is the most important thing to me. So let me know if it doesn't go as planned, and I will make it right. And that really mitigates people just leaving reviews if something happens. They're more likely to reach out to you first. So I definitely suggest doing that. Free gift box and gold string. Every ornament comes individually presented inside of its own gift box, with a gold string included, ready for gift giving. At this time, we cannot take custom requests for gift box colors. During the busyness of the season, ICP may run out of a certain color of gift box. Right now, they're using white. If they run out and have to source elsewhere, it may be black, it may be a craft gift box, it may be green. So it's not going to hurt you in your photo templates if you have one certain color represented. As long as they're getting a box, they're going to be okay. But I add this in here just so that they know. How to order. Add to cart and place order. Message us with any questions. Proofs are available upon request. On the photo ornaments or the fully custom ornaments, I still use this. In the personalization box, I will put proofs are available upon request. I know a lot of sellers who on those fully customized ornaments set themselves apart by offering proofs, but personally, as a mom, I don't want to do that for every customer. And now Hello Custom has a feature that is a live preview that can really save us time, and we won't even have to go back and forth with the customer. We're going to go over that on a different video, but I just wanted to mention that proofs piece. Specifications of our ornaments. 3x3 inch round ceramic ornament. They're actually like 2.86 inches by 2.86 inches. It's about 73 millimeters. So they're a bit under the 3 inch by 3 inch. Sublimation printed for vibrant and crisp graphics that will not fade. Free gift box included and gold cord. Production and shipping. Production is 1 to 3 business days, 2 to 5 days for USPS first class, or 1 to 3 days for USPS priority. And then a little disclaimer, we do our best to get all orders shipped on time. However, we are unable to control any USPS shipping delays. And you're going to run into this during the busyness of Q4. But ICP has put in so many measures over the last 2 years to help solve this problem. Just the way that they are now communicating with USPS, printing the labels that they're going to be able to ship out that day. So you know if it's assigned a shipping number, it is going out that day. And they're so fast. Right now, of course, everything's going out the next business day. And ICP hopes to keep it to 2 days of production, even during the craziest times this Q4, but it could ramp to 3 days in production. But then, of course, we can't control whenever USPS has a delay, so I like to put that there. I do know that the Etsy Seller Protection Program will refund customers if it was shipped on time with the tracking number and it was delivered late, but the customer has to file a case for that. But there's a message that you could send them that would guide them in doing that so that you would not have to cover that out of your pocket. How to order multiples. Type your personalization details exactly as you want them printed in the personalization box for the first ornament. Add the first ornament to the cart, return to the same listing. You can click on it from the cart and enter the next personalization. Repeat this process for however many ornaments you need. Review your shipping address while in your cart and place your order. Returns and exchanges. We want you to know we will do anything it takes to ensure our customers are satisfied. If you have any issues at all with your ornament, message us and we will resolve the issue. So 90% of these issues, and they're few and far between, but it might be like a crushed box, a slightly blurred image. Those are going to be covered by Inner Circle prints. So if you have an issue like that, you just reach out to ICP support with your order number, a photo of the issue, and your preferred solution, whether it be a reprint or a refund. And then sometimes you'll misspell a name when you're doing the personalization, or it'll be something that's on you. And then in that case, you have to cover the cost of the reprint or the refund. But it's reassuring to know that if it's outside of your control, ICP has it covered. And then I say, thank you for supporting our small family-run business. And I usually put my title down here at the bottom just to kind of keyword stuff in the description. Okay, we're going to add personalization for this one. You're going to have personalization on most of your ornaments probably. And I always tell them what to do, and then I give them an example. Enter the names and year you would like on your ornament. If no year is specified, I will use the current year. I like to say this just for the people that leave out the year so they know, okay, if I don't put this year, then she's going to use 2025. And then I always have an example because their eyes will usually just dart to the example first. Anna and Matthew 2025. I usually make the character limit the maximum in case they want to send me a message. And then I do not toggle on make it optional if I need them to give me personalization. I run a 50% off sale on my shop daily. Right now it's steeper because I'm trying to drive rank. But because of that 50% off sale, I want to double the price right here. And then the 50% off sale is going to get it to where I need it to be. So I want them to be $12.99. So I double that and it's $25.98. This is also where if you're utilizing the low display price, so for instance, if you're offering a heart ornament inside of your listing and the heart ornaments are sold out, but they cost $9.99, so it makes your customer think the listing is $9.99. They click into it and the heart ornament that's $9.99 is sold out, but the circular ornament is in stock and it is $12.99. That's a $3 jump in price. But this is where you're going to handle that if you do have a low display price. I know plenty of people who just keep them at the $12.99 to start out with. They do perfectly fine, but that $9.99 is going to get you more clicks and more conversions because more people are inside of your listing. But it's up to you what you feel is ethical and how you want to go about that. Some people do like a blank ornament offer, which is, I don't think that's okay with Etsy's terms of service because we need to be offering something other than a blank supply. Some people offer a digital download. Some people offer a sold out variation or a non-personalized option. So maybe it has the graphic on it, but it doesn't have the names on it. And then you get into the trickiness of the customer. They're going to think that it's going to have the name on it. They're going to buy the cheaper option. I'm going to have to go back and forth with them in customer service. So you just have to decide what works for you, but be creative. I am utilizing a low display price this year. So I'm having a $9.99 option. They click into it and they see the $12.99 option as well. And then I always make my quantity 999. You just have to watch it because if you have an ornament that takes off, like last year I had one that sold 2,500 times and 2 times I had to go in here and increase the quantity because it sold out. Variations. So this first one that we're going to do is just going to be one design. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we'll come back in here and we'll add in some SKUs to show you the option if you do have variations and you want to do it that way. Variations, this is also where you would go in and set up your low display price if you wanted to do that. So I clicked on custom. I might name it ornament type. You could link a photo to it. Maybe you have a ceramic ornament and then you have a glass ornament, and then you can select a photo so that when they click the ceramic ornament, they're shown that photo. Select a glass one that you have over here. If you're doing the whole sold out thing, you can't just make the quantity 0. You have to put it in like this, glass, and then physically write sold out, but give it a quantity. Because if you just say it's 0 quantity, it will not show up as the low display price. So I'm going to click done. And then that's when I'm going to say my prices vary. Or if this is where we're adding in our SKUs based on our design, I might put design and then design 1, design 2, SKUs vary. And then apply, and that's where I can enter in the different pricing. So my ceramic would be $25.98 and my glass would be $19.98. But for now we're not going to do the variation. Here with our core details, let's click change. It's a physical item, another company or person made it. It's a finished product and it's made to order. Production partners for this listing. So let's say that you're going to add a new production partner. I'm going to click change, create a new production partner. I'm going to put Inner Circle Prints. If you want to be more discreet about it, you could put my favorite print partner, but I don't mind disclosing who's printing the item. I do this too. Show this production partner's name to buyers. About the production partner, I put in their role as a production partner, Inner Circle Prints packs and ships out orders from their printing and fulfillment warehouse in Spokane, Washington, allowing me to focus on what I'm best at, designing top-notch products that my customers will love. Location, Spokane, Washington. Why are you working with this partner? I don't have the technical ability or equipment to make it entirely by myself. What is your role in the design process? I design everything myself. What is this partner's role in the production process? They do everything for me. And save. The category I have it in is ornaments. I put ceramic and materials. The width you can do 3 inches, or you can put 73 millimeters if you want to be more specific. Of course, your tags. On the materials, I'll put ceramic, gift box, and gold cord. And shipping, I set it up from the warehouse zip code 99206. Processing time, right now it's really 1 to 2 days, but I'm going to go ahead and put 1 to 3 days. Note what it says right here. Your shop's order processing schedule is set to include Monday through Friday and all holidays. So I actually want to go to my settings and make sure that the all holidays is deselected. Also, you want to make sure that Saturday and Sunday are not selected. Standard shipping, first class mail 1 to 5 business days. Fixed price $5.99. Last year I was doing $1.99 for an additional item. This year I'm going to bump it to $2.99. And then when you're setting this up for the first time, it will give you other locations besides the US. Inner Circle Prints only ships to the US, so you'll just click the trash can on that one. And then your ornaments will not show up in search for people that want it shipped to another country. Shipping upgrades, I clicked on custom, entitled it priority, get it fast, or you could just type priority mail. Shipping service is USPS priority mail 1 to 3 business days. This number right here stacks on top of this number. So you're not charging just $5.99. It will show up to them as $11.98 for the priority, and then save and apply. I do not add the item weight and size. You have to determine what you want your returns and exchanges policy to be. I currently have it turned on where I will accept returns or exchanges. For my apparel shop, I have opted out of that just because people have sizing issues that are their fault. But for these, it gives you a green check mark in search showing that you do offer returns or exchanges, and it just lowers that friction that the customer might feel because they know if something goes wrong, they can return it or exchange it. And I have very few instances where they actually utilize this. And then put it in a shop section. I always set it to automatic and publish. So we're going to go ahead and publish this one. What I was mentioning over there for your production times, you'll go to shipping settings, and then here your processing. Click on edit, Monday through Friday, make sure these are deselected. And then I'm going to deselect the holidays. They are going to work on some of these holidays. So if you wanted to, you could turn them on, but I'm just going to keep them all off and update. And then also for your 24-hour sale that we suggest that you use, go to marketing, sales, and discounts. Scroll down and click on run a sale. I'm going to move mine to 50% off from today to today. So every time I set it up from the day to the day. So when I set it up for tomorrow, it will be September 29th. And the sale name, I always do 50 and then the day of the week. And you can either select all of your listings, or if you click select listings, you can choose your section. So let's say that you're running a 60% off sale on your ornaments to drive rank. You would run a sale, set it to custom 60%, do it from today to today, name the sale, and then you would go to select listings and select that section. Now know this, let's say that you have tumblers in your shop, your entire shop is 50% off, you have one section of ornaments that are 60% off. If they add a tumbler that is 50% off to their cart and an ornament that is 60% off, Etsy will use the 50% off sale. So just be aware of that. It's not going to happen too often, but it gets tricky sometimes, and you'll have to find a workaround. Okay, review and confirm, and then confirm and create sale. Okay, here's our 2 beautiful listings. So the next step is going to be, you're going to set it up inside of ICP. So I've had people ask me, can I just wait until I get an order to set it up inside of ICP? I think as soon as you list it on Etsy, you need to set it up, because if you're getting 20 orders a day or more, it's going to start to get confusing knowing which ones you have set up that are populating in your orders tab and which ones you don't have set up, and something can fall through the cracks and someone's ornament cannot get fulfilled. And you'll finally notice it when it's past due. So I would just go ahead and set it up. Now with Hello Custom, personally, I don't set those up until they start making 5 or 10 sales and start taking off. Then I take the time to set it up with Hello Custom. But initially, I just set everything up with ICP via the Canva URL link. And then later on, if I need to utilize Hello Custom, I'll do that. But if only 20% of my ornaments are going to make all of my sales, I don't want to spend my time setting up everything with Hello Custom initially if the majority of that isn't going to be making all of the sales. Okay, so over here in ICP, you're going to click on the ornament. You have to make sure that your store is connected. So go over here to the stores tab, make sure that you're logged into the correct Etsy shop, and then give ICP access to your shop. That way your listings will be communicated over here, and then when you get orders, they'll also come over. Okay, number 1, name your product. This is where you're deciding, hey, am I naming it the same thing that I named it inside of Canva? Is it the same title that I have inside of Etsy? Does it have a SKU involved with it? Totally up to you, but definitely make it searchable. Whenever it's in your products, you want to be able to find it later on. So I'm going to name this one Couple Ornament. Number 2, access variation and design templates. This is where if you click on this little button, it will link you to the Canva template that you can use for your ornaments. Number 3, copy the design URLs and link to product is the first option. The second option is upload graphics for non-personalized or a Hello Custom placeholder. So let's say that you have an ornament that doesn't have any names on it. It is what it is. They're not going to personalize it. In that case, you can toggle this to image and you can upload the image that they are going to have printed onto their ornament. So it needs to be in the dimensions of the ornament. Using this template, or I like to use, this is 922 by 922 pixels, the precise dimensions that you need to submit your artwork in. I do mine 2000 by 2000 and ICP accepts it because it's the same ratio. I just like that peace of mind knowing that it's a larger file, but don't go crazy. Don't go like 5000 by 5000 because it really impacts the download speed, and some of the warehouse workers, it impacts them. So keep it to 2000 by 2000 or less, but definitely hit that 922 by 922 pixel mark. Okay, so let's say that it's not customized or personalized. You'll upload that image here. If it is personalized, which most of them will be, you toggle it to URL. You come over here to where your artwork is inside of Canva, and you can directly copy the URL that's in the top and paste it here. Let's say that you work with VAs and you want to make sure that your original is protected. Either make a copy or you can go to Share, See All, Template link, and then if you have Canva Pro, you'll be able to copy that here and paste that. So whenever the VA opens it, it makes a copy of the original artwork and it becomes a template. That's an option, but this URL will work perfectly. Number 4, this is where the mockup generator lives. So let's say you don't need to use the mockup generator, which you don't every time unless you just want to. You could just upload your thumbnail and it's going to be faster than using the mockup generator. What I normally do for my thumbnail is I will use the front mockup that I just put over there on Etsy. So I'll have it in my downloads. I'm going to upload that here. Or if you do want to use the mockup generator, you'll just click this button. You'll need your downloaded artwork, upload my artwork, and then you'll be able to see the placement over here. In my experience, the ornaments will print a bit brighter than this. This does have a lowered opacity to show you realism, but I think maybe it's a bit too lowered and it will appear more like the artwork that you uploaded. But if you want to see the placement, you can do that. And then you can click Add Design and Generate Thumbnail, and this will become your thumbnail inside of My Products. It just takes a bit more time. So if you don't need to use the mockup generator, then go ahead and just upload your product thumbnail. It's not showing right here, but when we save it, it will inside of My Products. And then number 5, if you have your store connected, this is where you're just going to click Link Your Product to Etsy. Everything that is active and even in drafts on your Etsy store is going to appear there, and you're going to click into the search bar and type in the title or keyword of what you're looking for, and then you're going to select that listing. I don't have this specific shop set up with ICP right now, so I can't show you, but all of your listings are going to populate when you click on this. You're going to find the listing that it is and select it. When you select it, you'll see a page, if you set it up without SKUs, that says there are no SKUs in this listing. You can still link the listing ID to your product. So when you're selecting the listing, it's linking it up via the listing ID. And if you don't know what that is, over here on Etsy at the top URL, there's this ID that every listing has. That's the listing ID that's being hooked up to ICP. So if you don't have SKUs, you're just going to link it up via the listing ID. We already put our Canva URL in there, and we're going to click link listing only. If it's linked up, it'll turn green, and then you'll click on add to products. So when I go over here into my products, it's here with the updated thumbnail that we rendered. It's got our link that's going to lead us to the artwork, and it's linked via the listing ID. Now let's say you need to change something or unlink it, you'll just click that here. And once it's linked here in your orders tab, when you get an order, ICP will be notified via the listing ID, and it will show up in your orders tab. Let's say that you have variations. There's a couple different ways you can go about this. So our design right now, it has this mug option, and then it has this Christmas tree option. Personally, what I would do is I would have them both inside of this art file and just link it up the way that we just now did it. However, it does increase the margin for error a bit, because over here we would have a variation, and I might say create your own design, link photos. It's going to be the mug design and the tree design. I'm going to select a photo for the mug design, select a photo for the tree design, done. My prices don't vary, and I don't have to say that my SKUs vary either if I'm going to do it this first way. So apply. So now when they place the order, there will be a drop down that says design. They'll click mug or tree. When it shows up inside of ICP in the orders tab, it will tell you if they chose mug or tree, and then it will link you to this artwork file. So you'll just have to look and see, did they write mug or did they write tree on that drop down? And then you choose which one that they did. I always duplicate it, do their new personalization, download it, and upload it into their order. But that's where it does increase the margin for error a bit, because you have to be able to see what they wanted, see what design they wanted, and select the correct one. Now, if you wanted to break them out one by one, you could do that. You would give one each a different SKU. So go to manage variations, SKUs vary. Your SKUs need to be unique for everything inside of Etsy. So I suggest that you definitely have a Google Sheets file where you have all of these documented. So this one might be a numeric thing. It might be couple, ornament, mug, and this one would be couple, ornament, tree, and then publish changes. I would come over here and I would make a copy of my Canva document, and this one would only have that second variation option. So no mug, this is only going to be the tree. I'm going to name it couple ornament tree. I can also put these inside of the same ornament folder. So you've got your couple ornament folder inside of that, and there's two different design docs. And then the original one I'm going to keep as just the mugs. I would click on my listing under number 5. I'm setting up the mug one first. Click on my listing, and there's 2 SKUs inside of it. I'm going to select appropriate SKU, so it's going to be the mug one. And then this is where my mug URL for this Canva doc is going to live. If we were hooking it up to Hello Custom, we would check this instead of adding that URL. And then this graphic is going to appear in the orders tab to let you know it's hooked up with Hello Custom. For now, I'm just showing you how we're doing it without Hello Custom. And so I would put that URL here and link the product. Inside of this listing, I actually can come up here to SKUs, and I can click add more SKUs, select the tree SKU, and put the different URL here. You would just go to SKUs and add the other one here and link that product. So inside of this listing, I have the mug SKU and the tree SKU, and I'm going to update my product. Okay, let's say that you're setting it up with Hello Custom. That's going to change how you're doing things inside of ICP. So here on number 3, instead of the URL for Canva, you're going to click on image, and I'm going to upload my mockup just as a placeholder. Upload my mockup on number 4, or you can generate it with a mockup generator. And you're going to make sure that your SKUs are linked up like I just showed you. For Hello Custom, you do have to have SKUs. So you would have SKUs like this. If you only have one design and you don't have variations, then you can just add a SKU right here. But remember, it still needs to be unique to everything else that you have going on in Etsy. I'm going to put couple ornament 1 and publish the changes. And then over here in Hello Custom, you need to make sure that your store is hooked up. So you'll go to your name down here and you'll click on connections. Make sure you're logged into the correct Etsy shop and connect it. Now when you click on upload a design, you no longer have to upload a PDF or a PNG. It automatically syncs with your Canva account. So then you can go back to connections. It'll help you hook it up right here. Upload from Canva. It loads in your artwork documents. The most recent ones that you've created will be first, but you can also search it. I'm going to click on page 1 of this document. So if I were to set up Hello Custom for the mug design and the tree design, I would come back in here and do this for the tree design as well with that separate SKU. So you're going to have a different design over here for each variation. And it's going to link to that SKU inside that you have set up inside of your Etsy listing. And that same SKU is the one inside of Inner Circle Prints. So you need to make sure that your SKUs are the same across the board. Upload from Canva. I automatically notice that I uploaded page 1, which has the template around it, and I do not want that. So I'm going to redo that. I'm not selecting transparent background just because when I upload to ICP, I wanted to have a white background. I know it helps the people that print and place them on the ornaments with placement. So yeah, now this direct integration with Canva is a game changer with Hello Custom. So here it is. I'm then going to click on personalization pieces. So the names, for instance, here, I'm going to tag it with name, text input, required, and save it. These right here show you the allowances. So if it's a super long name, if I move it to right here, it's only going to go right there and then it's going to start getting a lot smaller. I do notice that it changed my letter spacing, which I don't love, so I'm going to select it and change up the letter spacing so it looks right. I'm going to assign the font. This is where, if you're using Hello Custom, you need to make sure that you're using fonts that are already here in their system, or fonts that you can download from Creative Fabrica or elsewhere and upload in here. You would then click add and add the font. This one I'm tagging with date, text input, required, and save. And this is old standard. So I knew that it was already inside of Hello Custom. So I'm not sure why it's saying missing font. Let's find it down here. I thought it was inside of Hello Custom. Oh, it is. It's right here. Okay, so there's old standard, TT. I can title it up here. Couple ornament mug design. And then once you have it where you want it, you're going to click products. And everything you have hooked up, everything you have in your Etsy shop that's linked here is going to show up. I'm going to click on my couple ornament and the one SKU. So this is where if you did have the 2 SKUs, you would select the mug SKU and then click update and save. Yes, I'm totally fine with it printing white when it sends back to ICP. Save it, and then it's right here. And then I would create a new design for the second one. It's going to populate with my tree artwork. I'm going to click on it, do everything that I just did, assign the separate SKU that I would have over here in Etsy, and hook that one up. And so the workflow, what it looks like is, let's say that we have Hello Custom hooked up with this. You're going to get the order on Etsy. It's going to show up in your orders tab on ICP, but there will be a Hello Custom icon. You will log into Hello Custom and you'll go to your orders. You'll be able to click edit and tweak certain things, but by and large, the personalization works perfectly. It should look perfect. You can look at the graphic and then you can hit approve and it will be sent to ICP. And then when you go to your orders tab and you refresh, the personalization will automatically show up there. So what this looks like for me is I'll come to Hello Custom first and I'll look at all of my orders and I'll make sure they look right and I'll approve them. And then I'll go into ICP and I'll go to my orders tab and I'll just look at the graphic. I'll click on it to enlarge it to make sure it looks right and then send it to production. I'm going to have some other videos coming out about the new features that Hello Custom just rolled out with the live preview that I think is a game changer in the collections. But I hope that this is enough information to give you a really solid start on how to hook up your Etsy listings with ICP and Hello Custom. Let me know if you have any questions below.